Guys, what's up? So I just want to do a little update on my microdosing psilocybin journey. I ultimately, just to do a little recap, I'm in grad school to be a couples and family therapist, but I ultimately want to work with people with trauma. We all have different levels of trauma, um, and it's unique. Like everyone's a unique individual, and we all need a little bit of therapy. I mean, even just going through COVID and all this stuff, like we're all a little bit traumatized from one thing or another. Now, with the microdosing, a few things I've been working on is our letting go of perfectionism, which is really hard for me at this stage in my life. I really have the need for like control a little bit, probably because for so many years I kind of coped with stuff by drinking daily. I worked in the restaurant business. I was always go, 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 go. I never had time to overthink, and I just didn't think I was an overthinker. As of the last year, I've cut down my drinking tremendously, and I realized that um, I've kind of become this person that's like very, I'm craving minimalism, I'm craving order, I'm craving peace, I'm craving um, just having things in order and stability. And I think I've just had like a lot of shit things happen in my life. And when I looked over it with my therapist last year, I did a timeline and I kind of realized a lot of the shit things that happened to me were because of lack of preparation, not being careful, drinking, or just being around people who are like bad influences or who are like drinking or doing drugs. Now, I want to make the kind of separation between drugs for fun and drugs for therapeutic benefit. So for me with the mushrooms, I am not taking them in large doses. I'm not taking them for fun. I'm taking them purely to have my own personal kind of like freelance experiment with microdosing. I know that there is no exact science to it right now, but from what I've read and from what I've learned from other people, I want to get my own personal experience with it because I've noticed that your own personal experience is just so much more meaningful and memorable than learning from other people. But I do know a lot of people are interested in microdosing, but are afraid or um, waiting until it becomes legalized or waiting until they know people who can give them like firsthand advice about how much, how often, what the benefits and what the risks are. So for me so far, I've been doing it for about 3 weeks. I have been doing about 0.15-ish grams in the morning on every third day. So I'll do one day on and then 2 days off. Another thing, like I said, I've been focusing on letting go of perfectionism. I I had a hard time in the beginning of my master's program, which started in the beginning of 2020. And then there's a lot of people in my life that passed away. I had a lot of hardship and stress during that time. And I failed 2 classes and I dropped one. So it's put me a little bit behind in my schooling and it made me feel very out of control and very much like a failure. So I kind of set myself determined to myself, like, I cannot fail this. Oh, all right. Something popped up. Adobe's updating. So I minimized my screen for a second. I'm back. Um, anyways, yeah. So long story short, I'm trying to let go of perfectionism. I know some of you may watch this and think like, oh, you have to make sure that you're doing it perfectly every third day, da 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 da. But life happens and we cannot be perfect. This is not a perfect science. I'm literally just eating mushrooms that improve my mood and lift off a little bit of stress. Um, so far, it's almost, my experience has almost been imperceptible, although I have noticed that I feel more activated. I feel more clarity. I feel that life is a little bit more beautiful. I already, because of my life experience, like, and because I live in beautiful San Diego, right by the bay, I have so much gratitude and I see beauty in the little things. But I think for those who, I've gotten over my period of life where I was clinically and long term period of my life, all of high school and college, where I was just depressed. I think if I had been able to utilize microdosing during that time, it could have changed my life so much. And I could have not used all of the high school, college, and all of my 20s on being so unaware and being so much trying to improve my mood and doing things that actually like exacerbated suffering in my life, if that makes sense. So I think that this is something that has zero negative consequences. The only the only negative thing about it is that it's not worldly, um, it's not globally, federally, statewide accepted, legal, da da da. As of right now, as if I'm correct, this is a class 1 substance or a schedule 1 drug. I need to do a little bit of research probably before I post this video, because I do not want to get arrested for having these mushrooms. They're simply just dehydrated mushrooms that I eat a small amount of a stem, and it makes me more sober, more joyful. It removes a little bit of stress. It it makes me less likely to feel overwhelmed, makes me just feel more accepting of things I can't control. It's really miraculous, and this thing has been around for as long as we have, and way longer. So moral of the story is I'm about 3 weeks in. I started this journey about the second week of January 2022. And so far, I have had nothing but positive experiences. I'm definitely going low and slow. They say that various sources have said that about 3 grams is like one substantial dose that will make you trip, like have a full mushroom trip. This is not what I'm looking for. This is not why I'm doing this. I have been told, and from my research, 0.3 grams is an average amount for a microdose. But I wanted to start lower than that because I know myself and my body, and I have a good metabolism. I metabolize things very quickly. I'm sensitive to things that I put in my body. I'm very, very in touch and in tune with my body and aware of what's going on. So when I do take something, it's just very noticeable. I don't take any pharmaceutical drugs. I hardly ever take like an Aleve or a Tylenol or anything like that. So, and even just with drinking less, psilocybin mushrooms and microdosing also are known to have so many benefits, and one of those benefits is reducing alcoholism, reducing nicotine addiction, removing and lowering the rates of addiction and alcoholism. I mean, why don't we make alcohol less? I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me, and bless me. So yeah, I just think like alcohol is, so many people die from so many different reasons of alcohol, and it's a central nervous system depressant. There are so many negative consequences for alcohol. Why is it so readily available? Have you heard of any negative consequences or anyone dying from taking mushrooms? Yeah, there's something going on here, and it's definitely time to shift like kind of where our focus is and what's acceptable in society. And I am 100% on board for, and my ultimate goal in life is to be a person who collaborates to to help people receive psychedelic therapy, whether it's on your own, in your own home, or if you need somebody to help to process and integrate kind of the feelings and experiences that you get while doing psilocybin. I hope to work with MDMA and DMT. These things I hope and expect, ketamine as well, to be used in therapy in the next 5 years. That's what they're saying. probably MDMA will be the next psychedelic that is utilized in treatment. So I will be graduating in just over a year, spring of 2023. And then I will either go on to my doctorate or I will get specialized training in psychedelic therapy. So look out for that and follow my journey with psychedelic healing, microdosing, and just talking about everyday challenges. PTSD is something that I will be talking about a lot and my experience with it. But right now, I really want to focus on positive, like where I've come to, and um, the positive outlook for the future with psychedelic therapy for PTSD and trauma, as well as treating so many other things like depression, anxiety, and addiction. So, anyways, I hope that you all are uplifted by my videos, and I'll see you next week. Bye.